Hello, friends, and welcome to your weekly hymn introduction for Sunday, March 28th, Palm Sunday. As always, our hymns are found in the red Evangelical Lutheran Worship hymnal, or you should be able to find Sunday's bulletin on our website at gracepa.org by about the middle of the week. If you don't see it yet, keep checking back. Palm Sunday is an interesting day. It starts out with an event that seems to hold great promise. But by the time the service is over, it is clear that the joyous procession and shouts of Hosanna were simply Act 1 of the passion and death of Christ, and that all was not what it had seemed to be. The procession itself may even have been more sardonic than it was joyful. We may be experiencing such ambiguity right now in our daily lives. We see regular signs of hope, yet there is still much anguish in the world and uncertainty about the future. As Holy Week arrives for the second time during this global pandemic, we may find once again that the age-old story of Christ's passion speaks to us in new and powerful ways. Our first hymn is number 344, All Glory, Laud, and Honor. The words were written by a French bishop, Theodulf of Orleans, in the late 8th century, and these words have been considered indispensable for Palm Sunday worship ever since. It is the only hymn specifically recommended and printed out in full within a liturgy in our hymnal, on page 257, if you care to look. This hymn originally had 38 verses. You can be glad now that our hymnal has only 5 plus a refrain. Its melody is of 17th century origin and became connected with this text at the end of the 19th century. There are many different variations in various hymnals as to how the melody goes. Listen to the way I sing it, and if it is slightly different from the way you think you know it, take note, but also know that if you sing it your way and I'll sing it mine, we probably will come out together in the end. Hymn number 344.
And David's royal son, now in the Lord's name coming, our King and blessed one. All glory, Lord, and honor to you, Redeemer King, to whom the lips of children made sweet hosannas ring. The company of angels are praising you on high. Creation and all mortals in chorus make reply. All glory, Lord, and honor to you, Redeemer King, to whom the lips of children made sweet hosannas ring. The multitude of pilgrims with palms before you went. Our praise and prayer and anthems before you we present. All glory, Lord, and honor to you, Redeemer King, to whom the lips of children made sweet hosannas ring. our melody we raise. All glory, Lord, and honor to you, Redeemer King, to whom the lips of children made sweet hosannas ring. Their praises you accepted, accept the prayers we bring. Great author of all goodness, O good and gracious King. All glory, Lord, and honor to you, Redeemer King, to whom the lips of children made sweet hosannas ring.
Our hymn of the day this week will be number 705, God of Grace and God of Glory. This hymn prays, "Grant us wisdom, grant us courage for the living of these days." We might find several layers of meaning as we sing it. These words could be a prayer that we be prepared to receive and live out the story of Jesus' passion that we will hear this week. It may be an invitation to us to grapple with some of society's ills, including racism and the role each of us plays in upholding racist power structures. Or it may help us see that serving God and neighbor is what gets us through difficult times, whether those difficult times be the Great Depression, during which the hymn was written, or the virus pandemic we are living through now. Grant us wisdom, grant us courage, lest we miss your kingdom's goal. God of Grace and God of Glory was written by Harry Emerson Fosdick, one of the most influential progressive Protestant pastors of the 20th century. He was the first pastor of New York City's Riverside Church, funded by John D. Rockefeller. Fosdick was outspoken against biblical fundamentalism. He was anti-war and anti-racist. He spoke in support of the civil rights movement and for justice and peace in the Holy Land. His words are every bit as relevant as we begin this Holy Week as they were when he wrote them in 1930. Hymn number 705.
God of grace and God of glory, on your people pour your power. Crown your ancient church's story, bring its bud to glorious flower. Grant us wisdom, grant us courage for the facing of this hour, for the facing of this hour. Lo, the hosts of evil round us scorn the Christ, assail his ways. From the fears that long have bound us, free our hearts to faith and praise. Grant us wisdom, grant us courage for the living of these days, for the living of these days. Cure your children's warring madness, bend our pride to your control. Shame our wanton selfish gladness, rich in things and poor in soul. Grant us wisdom, grant us courage, lest we miss your kingdom's goal, lest we miss your kingdom's love's goal. Save us from weak resignation to the evils we deplore. Let the gift of your salvation be our glory evermore. Grant us wisdom, grant us courage, serving you whom we adore. Serving you whom we adore.
Finally, we will end this week with number 803, When I Survey the Wondrous Cross. This hymn will help focus our minds on the central story of the coming week and of our lives as Christians, the crucifixion and death of Jesus. This is the ultimate story of love, not only in the Christian Bible, but in many legends and works of literature, the giving up of one's life for the beloved. It's one of our most human stories. This song sings of that love that Christ showed to us in his death, and we respond in song. Love so amazing, so divine, demands my soul, my life, my all. Here's hymn number 803.
Survey the wondrous cross on which the Prince of Glory died. My richest gain I count but loss, and pour contempt on all my pride. Forbid it, Lord, that I should boast, save in the death of Christ my God. All the vain things that charm me most, I sacrifice them to his blood. See from his head, his hands, his feet, sorrow and love flow mingled down. Did e'er such love and sorrow meet, or thorns compose so rich a crown? Were the whole realm of nature mine, that were a present far too small. Love so amazing, so divine, demands my soul, my life, my all.
Welcome into Holy Week 2021. I hope you have a good week, and I'll see you again soon.